מלחמה, השלום בדרך בלבי הנחמה. בואו ונזרוק את השנאה כי אני ואתה רוצים את השלום. תנו לי להגשים את החלום, ועכשיו אני פונה אלייך ואליך. רואה את השלום בעינייך ועיניך. בוא נעשה שלום ונרים את המקום.
שבת שלום.
אנו בונים את העתיד לילדים שלנו, ומי עוד יעשה את זה אם לא אנחנו. עושה שלום, שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום.
John, can we test my mic one more? Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom. La 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 la, that sounds okay. Lie, la lie, 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 lie. You're out in cyberspace, we're just testing. This is not the actual service. The actual service will begin in approximately 1 minute. 3 minutes.
Test 1, 2. Test. Sound okay, Sean? Good? Test 1, 2, 3. Hello, hello, hello. Shabbat shalom. I will. It's that chord. All right, here we go.
It's important. We were going to stall for a minute, but since we can't stall now, since Rabbi said we can play, then I'm going to just check my tuning live and on camera. So, any opening announcements today? Would you like to make some? No, I don't want to.
Test 1, 2. Okay. There's sound in it now. All right. Shabbat shalom, everyone. Welcome to our first Shabbat of 2025. Yeah. I would say that I'm still writing 2024 on my checks, but I don't really write checks anymore, so it's not really. But it's good to be with all of you, and we're going to get started. We have our Shul band tonight. Reed is on his
Probably watching live Amsterdam.
From Amsterdam. So we've got J. Mike O'Neill with us, and I don't know. J. Mike's been coming and playing with our Shul band for how many years, J. Mike? When did you first start? 15 years. So no stranger to TBI. And he's going to offer his wonderful music and his wonderful soul to us this evening. We're going to get started with...
You're ringing.
I'm ringing.
Sean, we're ringing in the main mic a little bit here.
Ding, ding, ding. All right, we're going to start with a nigun, a melody with no words, just to warm up our spirits, to get us ready. And also, it allows any of you who struggle with the words, it doesn't matter, you can join. Here we go.
Yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 yada dai. Yada dai 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 dai. Yada dai 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 dai. La da dai 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 dai. Yai dai 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 dai. Yada dai 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 dai. Yai dai. Yai dai 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 dai. that's all you need to know to join in. Very quiet with your voices now.
Well, Shabbat is here again, and I hope everybody had a good beginning of our secular new year. I'm going to ask us to turn in our Sidurim to pages 2 and 3. I'll invite everybody who can comfortably do so to please rise. Let's read together on the bottom of page 3, the bottom half of page 3, and then we'll join in the blessing over our Shabbat lights. O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, help us to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Bless all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts. May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu Lehadlikner shel Shabbat.
You may be seated. Because I forgot, I'm just going to pause for a second and do an abbreviated, please take a note of the exits around you for our security purposes, right? That there are exits behind me on each side as well as behind both sides of the sanctuary and then out either way and in the back of the social hall. And there are fire extinguishers and an AED available should they be needed. As we turn to pages 20 and 21, it's our custom to take a few moments to reflect on the week and just to pause for a moment on each day, reflecting on its challenges and its blessings. And then we'll come back together and sing Lecha Dodi and begin to welcome Shabbat, pages 20 and 21. So we Hazarat HaShavua, review of the week, and then we'll come back together. Take a deep breath. Shabbat renews the soul. We'll sing together verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. When we get to verse 9, I'll invite everybody who can comfortably do so to rise and face the doors from which we enter to welcome the Shabbat presence and the nishama yetera, the extra soulfulness that travels with us during Shabbat into the congregation and into our hearts. For those of you joining us from home, you can turn towards the doorways of your home and bring that Shabbat presence into your space. Lecha Dodi.
Thank you. At least somebody's been in elementary school. Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi.
Likrat Kala.
Likrat Kala.
Penei Shabbat.
Penei Shabbat.
Nekabe la. Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi.
Likrat Kala.
Likrat Kala.
Penei Shabbat.
Penei Shabbat.
Nekabela. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela. Shambo v'zachor v'dibor echad, Ishmianu elam yuchad, Adonai echad, V'shmo echad, V'shem u'tiferet v'litchila. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela. Likrat Shabbat, Lechuven Elchad, Yimekor, Averacha, Merosh Mikeret, Nesucha, Tomase b'Mashavat Chila. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela. Hit'oreri, hit'oreri, ki orech, kumi ori, uri, uri, shidaberi, kevod Adonai alayich nigla. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela. Lecha Dodi, Likrat Kala, Penei Shabbat, Nekabela.
לקראת כלה, פני שבת, נקבלה לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת, נקבלה.
Oh, Hile Shalom, Ateret Bala, Gam V'Simcha, U'Tzola, Toch Hamunei, Am Segula, Voi Chala, Voi Chala. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת, נקבלה. לך דודי, לקראת כלה, פני שבת, נקבלה.
We continue on page 26 with Chatzi Kaddish.
יתגדל ויתקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
בעלמא יברח חירותי וימליך מלכותי. בחייכון וביומכון ובחיי דכל בית ישראל. בגלה, בגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו
Amen. Yehi Shemei Rabbah Mevorach Le'olam Ulomei Almaya Yitbarach
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר וירומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשא בריחו לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה תושבחתה ונחמתה תאמירן בעלמא ואמרו אמן.
Baruch Hu, our call to prayer, page 28.
Oh, am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Do you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Yada lai lai lai, 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 yada lai lai lai. Baruchu et Adonai Hamivorach. Baruch Adonai Hamivorach Le'olam Vaed. Le'olam Vaed. Yada lai lai lai, 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 yada lai lai lai.
Last three lines in the Hebrew, page 30.
El Chai v'Kayam, Kaminim L'Chaleinu L'Olam Vaed, Baruch atah
Baruch
Adonai.
Shemo.
Amariv. Aravi.
Amen. We continue with Shema Yisrael, page 34. This is a Hebrew-English mashup of Shema and Ve'ahavta as we move through. Once we
And
finish,
a lot of yadadais.
and a lot of yadadais. Once we get through the Shema part, then I'll invite people can have their seats.
Yadadai, 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 yadadai. Yadadai, yadadai, yadadai. Yadadai, 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 yadadai. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Same thing again. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai, Adonai Echad. Yadadai. Yadadai, yadadai, Shem kavod malchuto leolam leolam va'ed. Baruch Shem kavod malchuto leolam leolam va'ed. Lai la lai la la lai 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 la lai la la lai lai. You shall love with all of your heart, your soul, and with all your might. You shall teach your children to hope, to love and to know what's right. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie. Last time. Lie, 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 lie. Lie, 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 lie.
You may be seated. Let's continue with the last Hebrew paragraph on page 36.
Leman tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'tem kedoshim le'Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem, Emet.
Emet. Continue with our song of freedom, Mi Chamocha, which we will find on page 40.
Kamocha, יעקב, וגלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני,
Baruch Shemo.
גל ישראל.
Amen. Page 42, as we join in the words of Hashkivenu, we ask the Holy One to shelter us with a Sukkat Shalom, with a shelter of peace, that we may lay down with a sense of shalom, with a sense of wholeness, that we may rise up l'chaim, to life, to the fullness of life, to purpose each day. And that we need to be those partners who help bring that Sukkat Shalom to our world, to our communities, to our families, that shelter of peace. Page 42.
Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, ve'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, ve'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim. Ufroz aleinu Sukkat shlomecha, ushmor tzedenu uvoenu. Ufroz aleinu Sukkat shlomecha, ushmor tzedenu uvoenu. Hashkivenu Adonai, Eloheinu leshalom, v'hamidenu shomreinu lechayim. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei Sukkat Shalom, aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael, ve'al Yerushalayim.
I hope that your Hanukkah brought a little bit of light to your soul over the last week. Shabbat is an opportunity each week to kind of try to rekindle that light. At the end of Vishamru, Uvayom Hashvi'i Shavat Vayinafash, and on the seventh day, God ceased from work and it says rested. I like to translate Vayinafash as was soul refreshed. Vayinafash, nefesh is the word for soul. That we've been resouled as we move through Shabbat. We've gotten a soul tune-up, so to speak. So we take these opportunities each week. Sometimes I'm so wonderful to have a lot of you here this evening and joining you on home. Sometimes, it's Friday. We're so tired. So hard to get up and, you want to go to temple? I don't know. I don't want to get off the couch. There's all those kinds of things. But when we do come together, when we make special time here or at home, when we set it aside for Shabbat, we're able to pause from our week, to have opportunities to reflect and to connect and to grow. And we give thanks for that each week. Vishamru, page 44. Page 46. We'll sing Adonai Tzvatai Tiftach a number of times through as we get any time while we're singing. If you can comfortably do so, I'll invite you you can rise. If it's difficult for you to rise or you don't want to, you don't have to. It's all right. We'll sing through a few times by the time we get to the end. And then we'll continue with our Amidah. So we begin on page 46. Here we go. Adonai. Tzvatai Tiftach. Ufi Yagid Tehilatecha. Adonai. Ananananana, Svatai tiftach. Ananananana, Ufi agid. Ufi agid, Tehilatecha. Page 48.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu Elohei Avotenu V'Imotenu Elohei Avraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Vezrat Sarah.
Page 50.
Atah gibor leolam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atah, Rav lehoshia, Mashiv haruach, Morid hagashem, Mechalkel chaim v'chesed, מחיי הכל ברחמים רבים, סומך נופלים ורופא חולים, ומתיר אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו בשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך? מלך ממיר ומחיה ומצמיח ישועה, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיה הכל.
Page 52. You are holy, your name is holy, and those who are holy praise you every day. Baruch atah Adonai,
Baruch Shemo,
Ha'el HaKadosh.
Amen.
Please continue silently with the text of your own heart or the words of the prayer book through page 62, 63. When you're through, if you're standing, you may be seated.
Bottom of page 62. Oh, say shalom in Roma, Uya say shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, ve'imru, amen. Yalla-la-la-la-la.
So those of you who have been following our Torah cycle know that we're in a dramatic place in, I guess, what I would call the Joseph novella. It's like while it's connected in all sorts of literary ways, which we won't get into today, to the rest of the book of Bereshit, of Genesis, it also sort of stands on its own, the whole Joseph story, as a compelling narrative. Which is probably why, we have Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat and other kinds of adaptations of this story, because it can be told in that way. And in this week's parashah, there's a great and dramatic moment in which, already last week Joseph recognized his brothers, but they didn't know who he was. And they don't know this, and he keeps his identity hidden until he becomes overwhelmed in this week's portion with emotion, and he can't conceal who he is anymore. Joseph tells all of his staff, and of course Joseph at this time, he actually has, which I can't remember at the moment because he's not called it here in the Torah, but he's been given an Egyptian name, right? He's second in command in all of Egypt. He's really sort of left his Hebrew identity behind, but now his brothers are there, and this is again a complicated relationship. They sold him into slavery, right? This was not they weren't close, but he's alone with his brothers. He tells all his servants to leave, and he's going to make himself known to them, and then he begins to cry. And his cry is so great that the Torah says the whole house of Pharaoh could hear. Joseph tells his brothers to come close to him, and as they approach, he reveals to them his true identity. I am Joseph, your brother. You sold me into Egypt. It's a powerful story, so gripping that we could leave it as its own thing, right? Its own story. But Torah is actually most meaningful, I think, when we see ourselves in it. And the stories are not only about them, but they're about us. most adolescents go through a stage in which they become sort of like strangers to their parents. Their parents think they're just sort of strange. Teenagers may well be a little bit of strangers to themselves as well. There are many other examples of those who become hidden in layer upon layer of mask and facades. We would need to peel off the layers to cut through to see what's really underneath. You know, Purim is not the only time of the year that we wear masks. We wear all kinds of masks for all sorts of situations. Who is the real me, the real you, underneath your wardrobe of mask? Will the real you please stand up? Who is the real you? In an old Jackie Mason routine, he talks about a man who goes to visit the psychiatrist. The man walks into the office and the psychiatrist says, "We have to begin to search for the real you." And the man says, "How do I know that I'm not the real me? What happens if I meet the real me and I don't like him? What happens if you're the real me and I'm the real you? And then it turns out that you're the patient and I'm the doctor and you owe me money." The bottom line is that the patient has to begin to search for the real, for who they really are. They have to make known to themselves, even become known to themselves before they can make themselves known to others. Rabbi Edgar Magnin was a larger-than-life rabbinic leader at Wilshire Boulevard Temple for nearly 70 years. Used to counsel rabbinical students, and he'd say, "Just be yourself, unless you're a jerk, then be someone else." The Hebrew term for Joseph revealing himself to his brothers is a fascinating one. The word is behitvadah. The grammatical construction here is hitpalel. It's a reflexive verb. Before he can reveal himself to them, he has to act upon himself, reveal himself to himself. He has to know who he is before he can tell them. I can imagine how Joseph may have forgotten or dismissed the fact that he was a Hebrew from Canaan, sold into slavery. He was such a power. He may have forgotten who Joseph, the son of Jacob, really was. He never tried to contact his father in all those years. He took on a new identity. First, he had to know who he himself was before he could communicate with his siblings. How well do we truly and honestly know ourselves? And how much do we live with an image of ourselves? And how much do we live with an image of ourselves, for good or bad? In Erich Fromm's short but really wonderful book, The Art of Loving, he discusses knowledge as a prime component of love. In order for a couple to truly love each other, they must know each other deeply. In order for a person to truly love him or herself, they must truly come to know themselves without masks and personas designed for public consumption. The process of coming to know oneself more and more is a spiritual process. So on this Shabbat, when Joseph undergoes this overwhelming emotional experience, we too can allow Shabbat to help us get closer to our real selves, to live this word, behitvadah. Let's, even just for a bit, come to peel away some of the mask, come to know ourselves more, and let others know us. It's scary, perhaps, to peel off the mask. What if we don't like that person? But in order to grow, to become better, we must come to terms with ourselves, and then and only then can we chart the path to continuing to grow into the person that we truly want to be. On this Shabbat, we strip off the mask and get to know ourselves a little better. Shabbat Shalom. We're going to turn now to our prayers for healing. 253. is the traditional Hebrew prayer, which we use pieces of in our prayer. And we hold in our hearts all of those in need of healing, of body, of mind, of spirit, those in our families, in our community, and those we don't even know, those in our world in need of healing.
Oh, Holy One, bless our mothers, bless our fathers from ancient days, bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayer as we say their names. HaKadosh Baruch Yemaleh Rachamim Aleihem Lehachzikam Urapotam V'yishmach lahem Refuat Shlema, Refuat HaNefesh, Refuat HaGuf, Letok Sha'ar Cholei Yisrael. Oh, bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayer as we say their names.
We ask for blessings of healing upon Anahana Fields Austin, Sue Tobak, Rosalind Lefkowitz, Ellen Weinfeld, Pam Poliakoff, Kathy Blumenfeld, Caitlin Antrim, Brad Holland, Serena Postal, Robert Strober, Lori Snyder, Charity Razaday, Gloria Foster, Robert Gerard, Adele Harris, Brenda Fang Gerard, Jan Marcus, Al Shapiro, Robert Waldman, Udique Gratz DeLange, Deborah DeLange, James Stead, Stephen Gilbert, Ed Means, Bill Hughes, Stan Stein, Virginia Guzman, Suzette Guzman, Marilyn Rudin, Sandy Gunn, Faye Bernstein, Sandra Dizengoff, Mike Friel, John Foster, Ron Sokloff, Larry Muir, Susan Goldstein, Karen Nelson, Mickey Pollock, Larry Gassner, Marcia Lloyd, Terry Lloyd, Fred Rosenblum, Sharon Everett, Mark Kramer, Stacy Martin, Anthony Juarez, Ellen Sopkin, Jerry Feingold, Tim Nelson, and
Cantor Jonathan Grant, Howard Bush, Marky Walpole, and Mary Ellen Marco. HaKadosh Baruch Hu Yemaleh Rachamim Aleihem. Oh, bless and heal those in our hearts, and hear our prayer as we say their name.
So as we entered a new year, this week we also entered a new month. And as is our custom, on the first Shabbat of each month, we like to celebrate birthdays. So if you have a January birthday, we'd like to invite you to move into the center aisle, and then we'll invite you to come on up. And I could use a few tall-ish, you don't have to be really tall, but not really short, people to hold our birthday canopy as well.
Tall people come to the Bema.
And, all right, January birthdays.
Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet Sameach, Yom Huledet
Sameach. Well, for our January birthdays who are up here, and for any January birthdays at home, offer you a blessing for not only a happy birthday, which I do wish for you, but a good year, a year of health and of blessing, a year of growth of spirit, a year of connection to friends and community, and we offer the blessing of our tradition.
Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and may God keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichuneka.
May God's light shine into you and through you to others. May God be compassionate unto you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom.
May God and all that is good be present for you in your life. May you find wholeness and peace in your heart, in your community. May you join with others to bring our world closer to wholeness, to peace, to shalom. And we say together, Amen. In our continuing joint venture between Temple Beth Israel and Mark Feynman, now of Oceanside, California, we have our Yom Huledet Sameach pencils and chocolate. The pencils say Yom Huledet Sameach, so for those whose Hebrew is not great, it says happy birthday on there. And the chocolate actually translates it because it says happy birthday on the chocolate. So there you go. And we will sing you out. Here we go.
Yom Huledet Sameach, 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 Yom Huledet Sameach. Thought you were gonna walk it down. Yom Tameh. Now, oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know, he's not our regular guy, so.
Shabbat Shalom. I am very pleased to bring you greetings on behalf of your Board of Trustees. Thanks go to our rabbi and our cantor for leading tonight's service, and to our Shul band, ably led by J. Michael. Thank you for being here. Thanks also to Sean for keeping us online for those who are unable to join us tonight in the sanctuary. Our greeters this evening were Kylie Sykes, Vicki Hollander, Sharon Regalado, Harriet DiBasilio, Esther Vogel, and they are always, as always, led ably by our Judy Rose. This Sunday is our monthly Brotherhood meeting starting at 9 a.m. in the Beit Midrash, and Wednesday coming is Mahjong at 1 p.m. Next Sunday, we sail into all the activities with the start of Beit Sefer. I know that all the kids are excited about that. Sunday is also the annual Federation meeting held right here at Temple Beth Israel, starting at 10 a.m., and that meeting will induct our own Janine Mann as the president of our federation. That Sunday, is also the Brotherhood's turn at the Ontario Reign hockey event. Tickets are available, and there are flyers in the lobby to get more information. Team SEDEC is planning a day of volunteering on Monday, January 20th. That's MLK Day, so there's lots of people are off work and school, and it's a day to honor the efforts of Dr. Martin Luther King, as well as honoring Jimmy Carter, and a way to give back to our own temple. Opportunities will be available to work at the temple, taking inventory in the kitchen, the office, social hall, and meeting rooms. Sign-up will be available in the Oneg. There's a sign-up sheet there, or you can contact Marla White for more information. Following tonight's service, please join us in the social hall for Oneg, Kiddush, Motzi, and refreshments. Shabbat Shalom.
We're going to move toward the conclusion of our service. I invite you to turn to page 282, in the middle of the page. And if you're comfortable doing so, I invite you to rise. Aleinu l'shabbat.
Aleinu l'shabach ladon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצות, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורלנו ככל המונם. ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא.
287.
ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו אחד.
Page 294. Take a moment to remember those who have been important in our lives and have left this earth, those who have died in recent days or at this time in years past. And we hold them in our hearts and in our minds. Remember the recent deaths of Maria Ginny Schoenwetter and of Hannah Ansel. Remember the Yortzites, the anniversaries of the deaths of Shirley Abrams, Helen Baker, Albert Cadis, Samuel David Cohen, Rupert Davenport, Frank DePrisco, Ron Frankel, Samuel Freeberg, Lawrence Gilbert, Dorothy Glick, Manny Goldfarb, Lenore Hirsch, Frida Horn, Moshe Horn, Jay Horwitz, David Hurwitz, Max Cantor, Sarah Cantor, Elsbeth Kaufman, Flora Klein, Dale J. Laub, Arthur Licht, Belle Offstein, David Resnick, Jacob Rochester, Roberta Sachs Allen, Frida Schenfeld, Sholem Schulman, Rita Silverman, Herb Snedeker, Maxine Toback, and Eleanor Wine. If you're remembering somebody on this Shabbat, would like to add their names to those I've mentioned or restate a name I've mentioned, please feel free to do so as I come by your row.
Victims of the New Orleans bombing.
If you're in a time of mourning or observing a yort site on this Shabbat, I invite you to rise if you can comfortably do so. And I invite the rest of the congregation, if it's your custom, to rise in embrace and support of those who mourn. Again, Kaddish is on 294. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabbah, bi'alma divrach hirute v'yamlich malchute, b'chayachon v'yomachon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, b'agalau v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevorach le'olam olomei almaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal, shmei dukudasha brichu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, da'amiran bi'alma v'imru amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shmaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom imromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol yoshvei tevel, v'imru amen. Zichronam livracha, may their memories always be for a blessing. And we'll conclude with Biyado, for those who don't know the words. Last stanza on page 321.
And I'd like to welcome anyone who is either new to Temple Beth Israel or visiting. Just a little bit of our minhag, our custom here, developed long before COVID, took a break during COVID, is somewhat come back, but as you are comfortable to make a little bit of a connection, physical or spiritual, with your neighbors, we invite you to do so as we sing Beyado together. Beyado av kidruchi, eini shan ve'ira, ve'imruchi geviati,
Adonai li velo ira, ve'imruchi geviati, Adonai li velo ira. My soul I give to you.
My soul I give to you.
My spirit in your care.
My spirit in your care.
Draw me near, I shall not fear.
Draw me near, I shall not
Hold me in your hand.
Hold me in your hand.
Draw me near, I shall not fear.
Draw me near, I shall not
Safely in your hand.
Safely in your
This side, my soul I give to you.
Beyado.
My soul I give to you, my spirit in your care. My spirit in your care. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Hold me in your hand. Draw me near. Draw me near, I shall not fear. Safely in your hand. Biyado af kidruchi. בידו אף קינוחי בית ישן ויעירה בית ישן ויעירה ואמרוכי גביעתי ואמרוכי גביעתי אדוני לי ולא אירא אדוני לי ולא אירא ואמרוכי גביעתי אדוני לי ולא אירא. For those who joined us online, thank you for being with us. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat
For
Shalom.
all of you in the sanctuary, please join us in the social hall for Kiddush, Motzi, refreshments, conversation. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Big shout out thanks to the Shul Band, as Rabbi mentioned, or Neil rather. J. Mike on keys, Al Shapiro and Steve Rausch on woodwinds, Ed Beardsley on bass, Jeff Klein, and Chris Gacci on percussion. Thank you all so much. Great to have you back, J. Mike.